Hi, John. We are live. We've got Facebook and we've got YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Today is February 14th, 2018, and it's Wednesday. So you know what that means? New comic book day. Yes, Eagles are still champions. It hasn't changed. But new comics came out. So we're going to review some comics today that came out today. But we are also going to review what I got this past weekend. Because this past weekend, there was a local convention called ZoloCon. ZoloCon was in Warminster. Well, ZoloCon was great. Got a few nice pickups there. So let's start with that. Let's start with what I picked up. Let's just start into it with one of the best things I picked up. Let's take a look at this. Let's all read this together. Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. Yes, there's a Chuck Norris comic book. Yes, that's Chuck Norris. And how did it start? The only way to start a Chuck Norris comic. Chuck Norris is the best. Chuck Norris issue 1. This was actually published by Marvel in 1987. So, Chuck Norris, issue number 1. Check it out. There's also a number 2. What? Chuck Norris? Issue number 1 and 2. There are comic books for the great Chuck Norris. I also found this comic book, The Late Great China. Joni Lawler. China. I also found some key Green Lantern issues for $1 that I make sure I picked up. I will always pick this book up for $1. Green Lantern issue 50. This is issue number part 3 of Emerald Twilight, which is the story where Hal Jordan actually goes crazy, possessed by the entity Parallax, and he ends up destroying the Green Lantern Corps. So in this issue, the Green Lantern Corps is destroyed. I also was able to find 2 copies for $1 each of Green Lantern New 52, issue number 20. And this issue is, of course, the first appearance of the first female Earth Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz. I am highly speculating that she will be used in the Green Lantern movie in 2020. But this is the first appearance of Jessica Cruz, first Earth female Green Lantern. I also happen to find Bugs Bunny, issue number 1, because it's Bugs. Why would you not? Look at that. Rabbit season, then it's duck season, then it's rabbit season, then it's duck season, then it's duck season, then it's rabbit season. Bugs Bunny, issue number 1. There are 4 issues of Spider-Man that I picked up, but let's save the best for last. So let's just go through the first one. Issue 150. This is actually a Marvel milestone, which is a reprint run. But as I am doing a full reprint run of all the Marvel milestones, I believe this might even be the last Marvel milestone I need. This is Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 150. Picked up issue 531. I like the cover. It is Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. Basically, this is the Civil War story arc. Spider-Man was basically had to choose which team he had to be on. And finally, I picked up a copy of Spider-Man issue 546. That is Brand New Day, which basically is a whole new run of Spider-Man. So I actually had this issue reprinted in a True Believers dollar reprint. So I figured it might be special, so I picked it up. Why not? Let's get into the bulk of it. New comics came out today. Let's go through them. Let's start with Deadpool. The Despicable Deadpool, issue number 294. Bucket List, Part 3. Wade continues checking off his bucket list. Deadpool continues wrapping up the remaining business, just in case. But this time, Madcap is back, and Madcap is there to ruin his life. Now, Madcap, I would say, is probably Deadpool's biggest villain. That's Madcap. He's yellow with a purple cap. But this is a kind of an interesting end to the conclusion of their story arc for now. But I enjoyed it. Gave it a 7.5 out of 10. That was this week's Marvel for Deadpool. But let's go to Star Wars. Why not? Poe Dameron, issue number 24. Lors San Tekka has been captured again, and it's up the Black Squadron to save him. Meanwhile, Terex has his own plan in motion to finally free himself from the grasp of the First Order. Keep in mind, the Poe Dameron comic does take place before Episode 7, of course. But I enjoyed this. I feel like it may be coming to a conclusion. I don't know how many issues of Poe there may be, and I don't know how long before Episode 7 this is, but I don't know how much time is left in the comic book. But I really enjoyed this issue. I give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to this week's issue of Darth Vader, number 11. If you're not reading Darth Vader, you should be. Because this awesome issue, an expensive bounty has been placed on Vader's head. Who would dare challenge the Dark Lord's place in the Empire? This is just such a fun read. Like, Darth Vader's kicking ass. This is between episode 3 and 4. He has just become Darth Vader. So he doesn't even have his own lightsaber yet. But I really enjoyed it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely check out Darth Vader if you're a fan of Star Wars at all. This is a great comic run to read. Moving on to the big Star Wars issue for today. Issue number 1 of Star Wars Thrawn. This amazing issue is part number 1 of 6 of the comic adaptation of the novel Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. This is an adaptation of a novel that is already out there. The character of Thrawn, Grandmaster Thrawn, is wonderful. It is awesome that he has crossed over canon from the old EU to the new Disney EU. So this is a wonderful backstory of his telling. I mean, I'm enjoying this a lot. I mean, I haven't read Thrawn, but I'm seriously considering reading it because this comic, I mean, this is really good. So I really want to check out the novel too. But I highly enjoyed this. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Moving on to this week's independent book, Rocko's Modern Life, issue number 3 by Kaboom. In this issue, take a seat, fans of Rocko's Modern Life. Mrs. Bighead leaves Mr. Bighead, and he is devastated. Goes up to Rocko, cheer up his neighbor buddy. This is quite fun. I enjoyed it. Give it a 7.5 out of 10. There's also a backup story with the Bloaty and Squirmy, who, if you are a fan of Rocko's Modern Life, will remember are the 2 bugs that live on Spunky's back. So, give it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Okay, now moving on to this week's DC. There's quite a bit of DC, including something awesome. But let's start with the newest issue The newest number one. The new DC Age of Heroes. This is Sideways. Sideways. High school junior Derek James accidentally fell through a rift into the dark matter dimension during the events of Dark Knight's Metal. Now, as Sideways, he can create rifts in midair. And he can leap through dimensions at will. With that power comes much liability, and cracks are starting to form in the fabric of the space-time continuum. This is a good, nice entry level number one, the New Age of Heroes. I enjoyed it. The artwork, I really enjoyed the artwork. It was really nice. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to The Flash, issue number 40. Perfect Storm, part 2. Gorilla Grodd is after Central City's Speed Force, and the Flash is on the run. But the one thing Barry Allen can't outrun is the truth, and his nemesis knows a terrible secret about the fastest man alive. There may also be a new fastest man alive in this issue. I really enjoyed this. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. But I want to point out the spectacular 4-page spread. The artwork of this is beautiful. It's a powerful moment for the Flash, but I really enjoyed it. Flash issue number 40, Perfect Storm part 2. Moving on to Wonder Woman, issue number 40, Wonder Woman. This is Swan Song. Conclusion. Wonder Woman fights to break out Silver Swan out of Romania and stop her all-out assault. Will Wonder Woman be able to get through, or will she lose her friend to the madness in the process? And what will her brother Jason do? Give it a 7.5 out of 10. This does end the story arc, so we will see if Jason, Wonder Woman's brother, continues. Moving on to Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 38, Zod's Will, part 2. Mounting an escape from General Zod's prison camp, Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner must face down the natives of the Kryptonian villain's new planet. As Hal and Kyle fight to survive the natives, Zod and his family can even one of them make it out alive to warn the rest of the universe of this growing threat. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, 38. Give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Hal Jordan is, again, it's his title, it's Hal Jordan, so he is quite the spectacle. The Batman and Detective Comics, issue number 974, Night's Fall. Can Tim Drake piece his dreams back together after Batwoman's fatal decision to shoot Clayface? Or will the Gotham Knights go their separate ways? I highly enjoy this issue. This deals with the fallout, of course, of Batwoman shooting Clayface after he couldn't control himself and going crazy on the city. But I am very excited for the future of Detective Comics. I give this an 8 out of 10. Definitely a recommended read. Moving on to the final main run, we have Action Comics number 997. We are getting close to that 1,000 mark. Booster Shot, Part 5. Superman and Booster Gold are stranded in time on a world ruled by not one, but 2 General Zods. As the Sun Lord Zod asserts himself as rightful heir to the military dictatorship of their adopted homeworld, Old Man Zod turns his attention to the interlopers from the past. Our heroes' only hope of survival is to repair their craft and get home. But to do that, they need to travel into the belly of the beast. Love this issue. Love Booster Gold, Superman. Love the team up. Give it an 8.5 out of 10. We are getting closer to issue 1000. Finally, we come to it. Drum roll, please. Ooh, it's time for Domsky's Pick of the Week. It's my pick of the week. Hey guys, you have and gals, you have to check out this issue. You pick out one comic this week, you are going to pick out Dark Knights Rising: The Wild Hunt, issue number 1. It's a one shot. It is a Dark Knight metal tie-in. Detective Chimp. Bleh. Detective Chimp. Yes, that is a gorilla that solves crimes, along with Raven, Cyborg. The Dark Knights ride through the farthest reaches of the multiverse to track down the unlikeliest of heroes. You know, the Flash, Cyborg, Raven, Detective Chimp. The mission: keep these heroes from completing their desperate quest to save all of existence. The Batman who laughs is on the verge of destroying the entire universe. This is a fun ride, literally and figuratively. So I highly recommend that you check this out. This is my pick of the week. This is an 8.5 out of 10. The last thing I have to show everyone is the best thing that I got back. In November, Toy and Comic Heaven, the store I assist with, picked up a run of Spider-Man from Amazing Fantasy 15 to to issue 100. After the big and after 15 and 1 sold, of course, because the two biggest issues, I basically had my pick of what book I wanted. So I picked the book out and I sent it in to get graded. And because the company got sold in the meantime, I only just got it back 2 days ago. I got Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, which is the first appearance of Mysterio, but it is also signed by Stan the Man Lee. Now, because the book was already signed by Stan Lee, I wasn't gonna send it to CGC, because if I would have sent it to CGC, it wasn't a witnessed signature. So I wouldn't have gotten the yellow label I wanted. It would have come back green and it would have said, quote, Stan Lee written on cover, because they can't verify it's Stan Lee. CGC does not verify books. Sorry, does not verify signatures. Now, CBCS, they do verify signatures. So if the book is already signed, for an additional fee of when you get it graded, you can have the signature verified. So, sent to CBCS. Now I have my first verified signature. The red label. Now, it is my first graded Stan Lee signature, but I do already have a Stan Lee signature on in a Spider-Man graphic novel. And then I did get to meet Stan Lee and assist Toy and Comic Heaven and getting a book signed at New York Comic Con in 2016. But shout out to Toy and Comic Heaven for this. Toy and Comic Heaven has a brand new store at 21 Easton Road. Check it out in Willow Grove. It is behind the Barnes and Nobles. But thank you for this wonderful book and the assistance in getting it graded. Now, this book did come back a lower grade than I expected. So this is a 1.8, which is a very unique grade. Now, you may be asking why it got a 1.8. Well, I can tell you why it got a 1.8. There is a QR code on the back of each book, and you can see the grading notes. Now, for this book, here are the grading notes that made it a 1.8. There are 2 pieces missing from the bottom spine, back cover. Most of the spine is split. There are edge tears and chipping to cover. Moderate amount of tiny stains to entire cover. Spine wear and stress, general wear, and creasing to cover, which breaks some color. However, the price I got this at, with the Stanley signature, wasn't passing it up. So I'm still very happy how this came back, just to have it graded and an official label. Stanley. First Mysterio. So Mysterio has yet to be in a Spider-Man movie. So we will see what happens. But Amazing Spider-Man issue number 13. So just to go over the first book again, remember, Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris is the best. Chuck Norris does not do push-ups. He does earth downs. When Chuck Norris jumps into water, Chuck Norris does not get wet. Water gets Chuck Norris. There is a fist under Chuck Norris's beard. Watch out. Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos. That is my review. Remember, we are live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So, Yoda Rules 90, YouTube. Me on Facebook, YouTube. Check it out. Hope everybody enjoyed this. There is a movie coming out tomorrow, which will be February 15th. That is Black Panther. I made you a spoiler-free review of Black Panther after I see it. But it should be good. Black Panther. Tomorrow. Getting really good reviews. Check it out. Have a wonderful week. May the force be with everyone. And I'll see you same time next week. Maybe different time. We'll see. Just check it out. Bye. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks, Matt.